Former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher said, "If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman." I say no truer words have ever been spoken. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Women's Day episode on An Nur the Light. How wise, insightful, and just honest is that quote? And to prove this, our first story takes us to the beautiful city of Polokwane, where a women's organization, Barik Al Amal, are doing amazing work.
It is in your hands to make of our world a better one for all.
Utata Nelson Mandela spent 67 years of his life fighting oppression and injustice. In honor of his lifelong commitment to doing good, the 67-minute campaign was started to encourage human beings across the world to follow suit and contribute to uplifting the lives of those less fortunate. Access to resources remains a problem, with nearly 80% of all state-run schools in South Africa lacking a library. Rural schools in particular suffer from overcrowding, poor infrastructure such as collapsed ceilings, broken windows, a lack of textbooks and reading material.
Nelson Mandela is an icon he's an icon for the entire world. Wherever you go, and we've been to many countries, the minute you say you're from South Africa, people are like, where on earth is South Africa? But you say Nelson Mandela's name, they know exactly where you come from and what you represent as a country. And therefore, I think Muslims in South Africa and Muslims around the world would like to associate with the principles of justice, equality that Nelson Mandela stood for throughout his life.
In an effort to reinstill a culture of reading amongst children and combat South Africa's struggle in the education system, the Nelson Mandela Centre of Memory invites candidates to sponsor a container library to deserving schools in South Africa. Channel Islam International, Breadline Africa, a container conversion organization, and the Barik Al Amal organization joined forces to make this dream a reality.
We found the Barik Al Amal group out in Polokwane. They've done some sterling work in the past with us, putting up a park for disabled children. And then we found Breadline Africa, who actually does the conversion of these containers into libraries. And that's basically how we got ourselves involved in this project. And I must say we really enjoyed being part of it. Well, there's a term in the Islamic world called barakah, blessings, something that it comes out of something else, And by engaging in the library project, which was one of our very first projects that we did in terms of social development and giving back to the community, there's been so much that has come after that. We've given bicycles to learners. We've worked in communities. We've been to Marikana and helped in humanitarian efforts there. It's brought about a whole new dimension to the work that we do here at the station, and it's been it's been a wonderful experience for us.
The ladies from Barik Al Amal were left with the task of raising the funds, and they did this in the shortest amount of time with an innovative approach.
After much brainstorming, we said, okay, fine, we'll do it. And in fact, in one meeting, we decided we'll do a recipe book. Proceeds for the recipe book will go towards the library. Within 3 weeks, our book was ready and printed. Within another 3 weeks, we had sold 800 copies. Within a month, we could give them the money that they needed. So it was a project that really, there was no difficulty. It was done very smoothly, very easily. Barik Al Amal stands for a glimpse of hope, and that's what we strive to do. We don't look at color, we don't look at race, we don't look at religion. Everybody, anybody that needs help, we are there.
Next up, they had to find a suitable school and consulted with a local librarian whose knowledge of the region proved invaluable.
I learned to know this community through efforts of a community group that are concerned about how the children keep themselves busy during the holidays. So we became acquainted with this area, and one could see the need there and the eagerness of the children to be involved.
In next to no time, a brand new, fully stocked container library graced the grounds of the school in the rural village of Chibeng.
Oh, the children were so excited, and the teachers also. And then the children were able to go to the library and pick some books and read. And then it improved the reading skills of the learners.
Nelson Mandela's life remains an example of what one human being can do to overcome adversity and contribute positively to the lives of millions of others. The next Nelson Mandela may just be sitting right here, flipping through his or her first book and being inspired to make the world a better place for countless others.
Remember, we set to live the spirit of Utata Nelson Mandela's 67-minute campaign, and today we see it being true in Polokwane. I salute the mamas and sisters who are leading from the front once again. Amandla to you. Sister Miriam Forgan is relatively new to TV, but her advice on keeping us healthy is much needed. Let's hear what she has to say this week.
Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to this week's wellness segment. I'm Miriam Forgan. This month is Women's Month, and today we're going to be speaking a little bit about psychological disorders and how to cope and recognize stress. Stress is something we all experience in our everyday lives, but we don't have to let it overcome and consume our lives. A stressed state is anything from when someone experiences anxiety, irritability, fear, worry, lack of patience, and even depression. A stressed state can influence our emotional state, which then can physically manifest into illnesses such as your arthritis, your fibromyalgia. It can push up blood sugar and blood pressure levels, can cause heartburn, can lead to food intolerances, and even cancer. Foods that aggravate the stressed state are foods that contain caffeine, which act as a stimulant. So try to avoid or omit these in the diet if you are a highly stressed individual. Other foods are your highly refined sugars found in your fizzy drinks, your cool drinks, sweets, pastries, cakes, and an excess of these foods can become acidic to the body. There are foods that can also help combat stress, such as your omega-3 fatty acids found in your oily fish, seeds, and nuts. Other foods contain your antioxidants, which is a well-known stress combater. These can be found in your fruits, your berries, your citrus fruits, and your fruits that are high in vitamin C, such as guavas, your beans, and your nuts. Another method to help overcome stress is exercise. Exercise is a brilliant way to get rid of any pent-up and useless energy. It also allows for the body to release feel-good hormones, which enhances the mood. Because stress is started by negative thoughts, it is important to look at what we are thinking. For the quality of our thoughts is a reflection of the quality of our lives. Thoughts can lead to actions and reactions. So look to what you are thinking. It is the one thing we have absolute control over. That's all from myself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah, Sister Miriam, for that advice. You'd never think much about it, but stress is one of the silent killers in our society. Be healthy and take care of your bodies as well as your minds. This, incidentally, brings us to our next topic, psychological effects on our well-being.
While it is debatable which gender suffers more from mental disorders, it is obvious that with more women being diagnosed than men, South African women are a valuable resource to our understanding of mental health in this country. The first major study of mental health disorders done in South Africa was conducted between 2002 and 2004 and helped by giving a greater understanding of mental health disorders. One of the main findings was that there is a large unmet need for mental health support.
The statistics in South Africa show that women suffer more from mental health issues than men do. And currently, lifetime prevalence of mental health disorders are sitting in the region of 40%. Generally, women face a lot more in terms of life stressors, which giving birth, more household responsibilities, taking care of aged parents, sick children perhaps, and they're left to cope with the burden at home. So women tend to suffer more, and also women are not allowed to talk out about their issues, so they develop other symptoms. So they would develop more what we call somatic symptoms.
Mental health remains a taboo topic amongst many communities in South Africa. For Muslim women particularly, this issue is often swept under the carpet due to a lack of understanding.
The biggest issue Muslim women face is stigma, accessing the necessary help. So like I said, women don't always have the voice to say, I'm not okay, I'm not coping, because that's not allowed. As women, we're meant to be strong. If we read all our 5 times Salah, we do the right thing, we're good Muslims, we should never feel that we're out of our depth. And as such, women feel ashamed. If I tell the doctor I'm not coping, then that is admitting to a failure on my side. Muslim women cope remarkably well purely because we used to have the extended family and extended community support. That is becoming a thing of the past, and I think that's where we're falling short.
Organizations such as Islamic Careline have seen an increase in the number of women calling in and are dealing more and more with issues around mental health.
Over the years, I think the trends have been that the calls and the nature of the calls have changed. Whereas previously, they were just about practical issues that women are going through. For example, the difficulties in looking after their children, the difficulties with their husbands, but it was more about practical things about their lives. And over a period, we've now seen that people come in with citing problems of depression, of stress-related health concerns, of issues that are more related to mental health. We find that Muslim women, like all women, are going through a lot of psychosocial changes in their lives, a lot of mental health issues that are related to depression. And that is why we, over the years, have incorporated psychological services on a professional level in terms of referrals to psychiatrists and things like that.
The problems experienced by South African women are often relationship-based and best tackled through counseling and support.
Being Muslim does not make you immune to mental illness. And I think exactly that prejudice against Muslim women, that it's a failure should you have something. If you can't suck it up, there's something wrong with you. That is obstacle, the biggest obstacle for me. In essence, we need to get you back onto the path towards making your life a healthy one. Particularly with Muslim patients, we look at and with most of my patients, actually, we look at spirituality and where they're at in their journey, in their lives at that point in time. And should spirituality be a form of comfort for that patient, then obviously we want to enhance that and make that easier for them.
There is a definite need for more education around the topic, but it starts with the person themselves. Help is at hand by reaching out and making contact.
As you can see, help is at hand. And for those who want to know more, send us a message on our Facebook, Twitter, or email, and we'll put you in touch with the necessary people. For as long as our show exists, you never have to feel like there is no help out there. All you have to do is reach out and we'll respond. Our books, technology, and app segment is up next.
Today's book is called An Imperfect Blessing by award-winning South African writer Nadia Davids. An Imperfect Blessing takes the reader into Cape Town's Muslim community and is told across two time periods, the heady days of 1993 and the state of emergency in 1986. It documents the history of slavery, demise of District 6, and end of apartheid, moving across generations and communities. The book places one family's story at the heart of a country's rebirth and interrogates issues of faith, race, belonging, and freedom. J.M. Coetzee has hailed the novel as one which is sharp in its insight yet warm in feeling, and Zoe Wickham speaks of its subtlety and compassion. This certainly is a must-read for all South Africans. Today's application can be found in your App Store on iTunes. Idua is a beautiful application that is made up of prayers that you as a Muslim can say from when you wake up until you go to sleep at night. From prayers for traveling to prayers for those who have passed on, Idua has over 250 du'as to recite for 100 different occasions, essential for every Muslim to have. Along with the Arabic text, there is also English transliteration and translation to help you recite and understand each dua. Modest Muse is South Africa's first lifestyle Mobi site for Muslim women and is edited by Mushra Hartley. The site offers a wide range of content from daily inspirations about life, faith and love to their Pretty as a Picture section, which offer beauty tips, styling and product information. Their question and answer section provides Muslim women with information about Islam and lifestyle questions received by South African Muslim women. If you'd like to know the latest trends, beauty secrets, or simply gain some guidance from the Quranic verse of the day, then sign up for the Modest Muse newsletter. All you have to do is visit their Mobi site and subscribe.
Books inspire us, technology innovates us, and apps, well, they just make life that much more easier. Shukran to the team for finding these amazing things. Lemise du Toit is standing by in the kitchen to wow our taste buds once again.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to An Nur. Today we're taking our taste buds to Thailand. This is a quick and easy meal, brilliant for the working moms and dads. It's a quick fix done in less than 10 minutes and it's also perfect for veggie nights. So tonight we're going to be making a chickpea Thai curry, and the ingredients that you need for this recipe are the following. I've got 2 tins of drained chickpea that I've rinsed. You can use the ones in the tins because then you don't have to bother cooking them. I've got 30 ml of red curry paste. I've got 10 ml of brown sugar. You could also use palm sugar. I've got about 25 ml of vegetable oil. I've got a half a lime that we're going to squeeze, a half of red pepper diced, half a yellow pepper diced, and half a green pepper diced. Then I've got 250 ml of coconut cream, about 10 ml of fish sauce. This is optional, it's just to add salt to the dish. And then I've got 250 ml of chicken stock and 1 large onion. And you want your vegetables to be fairly chunky because this is a veggie dish. The chickpeas are nice and crunchy, and you don't want your onions to dissolve. My wok is nice and warm, and you can actually see the smoke rising from here. Our green peppers and our yellow peppers, and this literally just needs to go for about 2 minutes. You want to still keep the crunch on your veg.